Andy, you've had some magnificent wins in the last couple of years, but that game is incredible. How do you feel after it?
Well, the first half wasn't it? He was just end-to-end stuff, and we all hoped it would be like that, and it certainly wasn't it? You know, end-to-end, and yeah, even though I thought field position-wise we controlled it pretty well in the end. You know, it's not over till it's over, isn't it? You know, probably until the 78th minute or something like that. You know, you're thinking, you know, we've won a titanic game in that respect. So, unbelievably proud of the lads of what they've been through over the last 3 weeks, and I know that they dug in hard, and it meant a lot to them today, and they certainly showed that.
What won it for you?
Pardon?
What won it for you?
Oh, the character more than anything. If you're talking about the bigger picture stuff, I mean, the fight, the want to cover each other's back, to show the togetherness and the spirit that we know we've got, and show it to everyone else in world rugby was there to be seen. You know, we could talk for hours in that regard of instances and people playing not too much rugby and coming back and putting in performances like that when the chips are really down in big games. It shows a lot of character.
Johnny, just on that character, you go a long way back, obviously with Conor, like he's had a really tough week. Like, what's to say about his character that you rocked up today?
Unbelievable, really, isn't it? It's a mark of the character and the player. You know, in my eyes, he's always been a class operator, and he's always been world class in his position, and you know, changed the game in many ways for scrum halves, and yeah, it just amazes me that he could show up today, be so calm, and put in the performance that he did. Yeah.
You talk us through the first strike, you go Keelan strike, and the classic, the move, just talk us through it basically.
Well, you should have passed it to me.
We set it up first because we knew it was going to work. By getting held up over the line, obviously we wanted to drop out and not score it earlier than that.
Yeah, it was a good set play. Coaches obviously came up with it, and yeah, it's a great line by Hugo, and a great pass by Finlay. So it's lovely to see things like that pay off. You know what I mean? And to put in the work, because sometimes, you know, you've got your set piece, your D, you've got all these things that, and you know, it'd be easy to overlook a goal line dropout just to say, just truck it up, lads, and we'll get back into our shape. So great finish by him, and he was outstanding again.
Same one as 2012 against Claremont. Same one.
Well, that was off a line out. This one was slightly different, but still brilliant execution by the lads, and yeah, like I said, it's brilliant when you can, you know, get yourself 7 points off something like that.
Johnny, you talked about this being a huge game, a standalone game in its own right, regardless of the Six Nations or World Cup year or anything like that. Does it feel like an even bigger, huge standalone, huge win now in its own right? The way the game unfolded.
Yeah, it was like an incredible game, wasn't it? Like, it was, you know, it felt like we were, you know, on the up after getting that try, and then suddenly they out of nothing they can come alive, can't they? That's what we spoke about, and like, even though we won, you know, and got 5 points in the end, like, you still didn't feel very comfortable. At the end, Dupont getting away, he's a remarkable player, and you know, you have to be alive the whole time for him. But look, we concentrated on last week for the 2 weeks in Portugal, then we concentrated on this week, and we knew how big it was in terms of the championship, and now we've got to decompress, go take a few days off and come back, and it's not worth anything if we let it slip now in terms of against Italy in the next game. So 2 weeks to prepare for that, and we need to be on top for a game to go over there.
Now that you have won a game, sorry, last one, now that you have won a game, there could be a lot of outside noise about the possibilities of Six Nations titles, maybe even something grander. Is that something you embrace, or that's too much of a distraction?
Well, it's clear from the start what we want to achieve. Like, you know, it goes unsaid, but everyone knows what we want to do. We won a Triple Crown last year, and we want to go better this year. That's what we speak about, keeping the trajectory like this, as opposed to in 2019 when we dipped. So to get better is to win a championship or a Grand Slam, of course. But how you do that is concentrate on the next 2 weeks and try and beat Italy away, which obviously, if you saw the game last week, how tough a game it's going to be.
And you seemed to be on your feet for most of the last 22 minutes. I'm not sure if that was the nerves or the excitement, but can you talk to us just about how the replacements saw that game out?
Yeah, like they did great. Like we've relied on our squad for the first 2 games. You know, we've had guys dropping, you know, a lot of guys pulling out, you know, over the last few weeks, and guys have just stepped in seamlessly. That's what happens when you got a good environment, good coaches, putting a good plan together. It's always been the way. When I remember in Leinster when Joe was there, and it was the same. You know, guys just come in and can fit into the system, and yeah, the guys did brilliantly.
Andy, the players, the French players looked quite sloppy in the first half mainly, but across the game, was it down to what the players did, the Irish players did?
Well, I hope so. I was a little bit surprised in how they went about their game in the first half. To be honest, as far as how much ball they played in and around halfway, they're normally very pragmatic as far as that's concerned, you know. So I don't know if that's anything to do with it, but well, when you say they're sloppy, you know, I don't necessarily agree with that term in regards to, you know, you're always 5 seconds away from somebody remarkable. I mean, as far as Dupont or the 2 wingers are concerned, I don't know if anyone tackled them throughout the full 80 minutes, to be honest, you know. So even I was exhausted. I didn't even play the game. So it was a top end test match. Again, it's what everyone wanted, and everyone got that, and we're fortunate to come out on the right side of the scoreboard.
Andy, how was Rob Herring, and should have been a red card?
He's going through HIA. Obviously, Rob didn't come back on, and so there's that to factor in. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is. The referees are paid to make those decisions. I mean, Wayne and his the team of 3, the team of 4, and TMO, they couldn't get any closer to the big screen to see it as it was. So you've got to trust that call, and obviously they'll look at it and do the right thing. Therefore, after that.
Andy, how big a marker do you think that performance and win lays down to the rugby world in this, of course, which is a World Cup year?
Oh, I don't know, honestly, because I know it's boring for you guys, like, you know, but we're just on to the next one. We are, because the same points are available against Italy, and we've got to make sure that we learn our lessons, because to be honest, I'm unbelievably proud of the character of the fight, everything that was showed of what's gone on during the week, and how we managed our way through setbacks, Johnny coming off, and, you know, other people getting injured. You could talk for hours about it, really, but at the same time, you know, in reality, they're an honest group, and it reminded me a little bit of the first test against the All Blacks. You know, we get held up over the line 2 or 3 times, and there were times where we could have converted a little bit better and took a little bit more pressure off ourselves towards the end of the game, and that's the reality of the game in itself. So I think that's a good thing for us going forward.
You're on an amazing run at the minute, world #1 team. How big is the challenge for you to ensure that you can just keep this progress and momentum running for as long as possible?
It's never been about that. Never been about that. It's just about us improving as a group, realisation of where we're at, where we need to get better, and how hungry we are on a daily basis to try and achieve those goals, you know. And again, you know, everyone talked about the performance last week, but, you know, I asked the guys on Wednesday after all the reviews, where do you think we're at? And to a man, everyone thought that the performance wasn't good enough, you know. So we'll do exactly the same with this now, and keep pushing the standards. That's what it's all about. That's all that matters to us, really.
Johnny, I'm sure you'll find it hard to find fault with the performance today.
Sorry.
I'm sure you will find it hard to find fault with the team's performance today.
Well, straight away, in terms of the chances that we created at half time, we spoke about we had a 50% success rate in terms of how close we were to their line and not scoring. A couple of held up, but there was chances to get the ball into space earlier, and we didn't get it there. So look, there's plenty to work on. There always is. Like you never really walk away from a game going that was perfect. But someone told me at the start of the day we'd come away with 5 points and give them nothing. Same as last week. That's what this competition is all about: results and yeah, to be 10 points out of 2 games is fantastic.
Johnny, can you talk a bit about the dexterity that James had to show for that finish?
Oh, incredible finish! Yeah, to jump, at the right time and keep the ball under control. It's world class. So, I've seen Keith Earls practice it in training with pads and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever seen him practice, but he does a lot of things. He does a lot of things that probably just comes really naturally to him. He's a phenomenal player. He's great to play with. I've said it many times before. I love playing with him. The energy he brings and the way he goes about his business. Yeah.
And just given the players you were missing going into the match, and the substitutions that were made at the start of the second half, is that the most pleasing aspect of how the players that you had on the field saw the game out and restricted France to 3 points in the second half?
Yeah. I don't know how much I can keep saying about this in regards to. I remember Johnny actually in Portugal. We got up to speed after a week and we'd a training session 15 on 15. And the team was already picked, and he got the lads in after the session and said, you wouldn't know which is the first team, the Irish team that's playing at the weekend, and that's where we're at, so therefore the belief is real, and you actually get to a point where you're pleased that people are able to get an opportunity to see whether they can take it or not, because that's the stage we're at, where we're trying to find out about each other. So in that regard, there's a few injuries and a few people pulled out, but at the same time, look at the strength of the bench coming on today. I think it's a mark of where we're at as a group.
How's Tadhg Beirne? He's hobby coming off?
Not looking too great at this moment in time. I think there's something that needs to be looked at in more detail, but he's not looking great for him at this moment in time, but we'll see tomorrow.
Can I ask you what the ribbons are just doing?
Eden Park. Sponsor.
Sorry, yeah.
Give them a plug.
Johnny, how's your leg?
No. Antonio tackled me and landed on my groin.
That would do it.
So, yeah. Kind of another impact, but I couldn't run it off. I was gutted to come off. I was enjoying it and felt good. Your first game back, so it was difficult, and then your second one, you always feel much better for it. And I felt at the top of the ground, but anyway, that's life. Got to just look after it now and make sure I'm getting myself back fit.
A few decent sprints.
Yeah, the lads are enjoying slagging me about inside, but a little bit of life left in the legs. Yeah.
Ruth, you trying to get in there?
Yeah, thanks, Johnny. Well done today. You can see how tight you are as a group. I think I saw some of the footage beforehand of you all hugging in the changing room before you went out onto the pitch. Just how tightly, is this group, and how important is that for your success?
It's the biggest part of our success, isn't it? And that comes from the environment that the staff put together for us, led by Andy, and it's just an enjoyable place to come in and work, and we get the balance right between enjoying each other's company and then being able to switch on and work, and we work hard, like, It's not all happy-go-lucky stuff. It's we work hard and we enjoy each other's company, and there's a lot of lads that have been together for many years, but then there's new guys coming in that add to the environment just as much, and it's a great group to be part of, and keep some older lads going, keep us hungry and loving it. So it's a pleasure to be involved with. Yeah.